It's me again, Margaret. This is Moroni Prime doing yet another video review. This is the second in the series of reviews for the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Bandai. This is based on the 1993 series that is going to re-air this January in 2010. So far as I understand, it is a digitally remastered airing of the old show. No new episodes or anything. Which would be kind of hard to do, considering a few of the characters and actors are, since deceased. But we'll not get into that right now. You saw an example of the scale with my last review in the Red Ranger. That was already covered. That's the same scale. Also, I will not necessarily be covering this weird bird stand accessory, being that I just spent about 4 minutes on that or so in the last review. One thing you will notice, though, there's a stripe on all these. They correspond with the colors of their respective Rangers. That's the only difference. The LED is the same color, the claws are the same mold, and it still has the same gold plastic. Again, I repeat, be careful with the gold plastic. It's known to break, as we've seen on figures in the past. G2 laser rods, Micromasters, just gold plastic syndrome is a bad thing. Bad, bad, bad. So use caution. Now, as was covered previously, it's the same scale, and from what I could tell, the same mold with the exception of the helmet. I don't notice any difference in any of the Rangers that I've gotten thus far, with the exception of the female Rangers, but that's a different story altogether. This is the Blue Ranger. He does come with his trademark Power Lance. It does not separate. As I've covered in the past review, there is no connectivity to the other power weapons to form the Power Blaster. The reason being is apparently the Power Blaster is being released separately from the individual Rangers in a combined form, a solid toy, also molded in the soft black plastic to avoid breakage. I will say, though, they couldn't have picked a weirder figure to release that Power Blaster with. I don't have the figure as of yet, but I do know that the Power Blaster comes with, of all characters, the Putty Patroller. How he got all the Power Rangers weapons and had the knowledge to combine them, I'll never know, but for some reason they seem to think it makes sense to release the Power Blaster with the Putty. But that's a different review altogether. The Blue Ranger here, you have the same articulation, lateral and rotational hip movement, the knee bends, about 45 degrees here. The boots, again, 360 degrees. One thing I did neglect to mention with the Red Ranger review, the feet on the bottoms aren't exactly flat so much as they're angled upward toward the middle. I don't know if you can tell that really well, to allow it to stand apart more. So I guess that helps in posability and whatnot. Same holes in the feet. Also, I've noticed the same butt print, 12909. I don't know what bearing that has on anything, if it's exclusive to a wave, to help collectors differentiate or what it means, but it's probably just some sort of serial number or something. The Morpher, same detail. You have the red lines on top and bottom, the black around the edges of the buckle, silver, the gold on the power coin. He also comes with the Blade Blaster, just like the Red Ranger, which is also molded in the soft black plastic to avoid breakage. It still has the peg on the side to peg into the hole here. Put that down now. Back to articulation. The arms still have the lateral and rotational movement, if I can keep my monstrous hands out of the way. The elbows do bend, and the gloves and hands do rotate 360 degrees. And then you have the head swivel. Again, you can do the whole exorcist thing if you choose, or not, it's up to you. Pardon me. One thing I did notice on the Blue Ranger helmet, I don't quite recall him having such a thick silver outline around his visor. That seems to help it stand out a little more, break it apart from the blue. But I remember it being a little thinner of a border in the original toys. But all the same, it doesn't look too bad. You have the eyes; they're painted kind of a yellowish goldish, similar to the power coin. And you've got the silver on the horns. Overall, not a bad figure. Gonna put him with the Red Ranger here. Overall, I'm rather pleased with this line so far. I hope they continue to release more figures, and hopefully more enemies, because that's something that's been lacking in recent years, is the monsters and things. I just hope they don't do what I've seen them do with other series, and that is to release, you know, Blue Ranger with battle armor, or Red Ranger with you know, transforming motorcycle armor, or you know, Malibu Pink Ranger. You know, just keep it simple. Don't overdo it, and just don't do what they did with Masters of the Universe. Here he is with the Super Legends Megazord, as I'm calling it, but they call it Mighty Morphin Megazord. Or as you will see later on, whenever it's released to stores, there's been some sightings already of the original Megazord, retooled, remolded, called the Dino Megazord. So as far as a final name for this, I'm going to go ahead and just call it Megazord like it was originally. You know, because Bandai can't even seem to decide on a name for it, whether it's Dino Megazord or Mighty Morphin Megazord. But that's not what this review is for. So let's get him and the Red Ranger out of the picture here. Overall, I have to say I am rather well pleased. I plan on buying the rest of the figures. There we are. The accessories in the shot here. Overall, I'd give it probably a 7 out of 10. It could have had a little more articulation, and I thought that while the flight pack was a good addition for figure stability, I don't feel that it was necessary as a battle accessory. I think they could have just had a weighted figure stand or something. Plus, as I mentioned before, with the batteries. Also of note, collectors beware. There are other figures in this line. There is a Walmart exclusive gift pack. These retail individually for $5.86, or the gift pack, as I mentioned, is $14.86. You may think you're getting a bargain, but watch out, because these figures in this gift pack have less articulation, and from what I can tell through the bubbles, a little less paint application. They come with, if I recall correctly, the Green Ranger, Lord Zed, Red Ranger, I believe Pink Ranger, and maybe Black Ranger. It might be the Blue Ranger, but I'm pretty sure it's the Black Ranger. No elbows, no knees, just horrible articulation, about like the ones from the Happy Meals in years past. If you want to buy those, they'd be good for a shelf display to maybe make a diorama of some sort. But if you're after quality, I would probably pass those up. The single releases, for what they are, I mean, $6, you're not really getting too bad of a deal, really. And it's a good figure, it's a decent scale, and the detail is fine. I would recommend these to anyone who likes the franchise. As far as playability for smaller kids, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens when the... Let's get that out of there, that's kind of distracting. When the show finally airs again. Personally, I don't see it lasting very long. I would like it to. I would like them to take this line in a different direction. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. This has been Moroni Prime with another video review. Until next time, bye.